be a sponge, and then bring the juice.
By focusing on your improvement, by focusing on your progress, and eliminating any fixed mindset that you may have and acts of perfectionism, then you encourage your own mastery.
On some level, we do what we want to do 24 hours a day. Now, sometimes it may not seem like that, but if I'm choosing to work instead of sleep, what I'm actually saying is keeping my job is more important than sleeping.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting beat. What can I do to get over this hump? So mentally, that's when I kind of put that forefront, like, hey, it's either all or nothing.
I like to put failure in quotations because I don't believe that failure is true failure if you're looking at it with the right mindset.
The truth is, the journey to greatness is hard. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes focus, and every day you have to decide what you value, what you want to pursue, and what you want to achieve. And if you dig deep enough, if you push hard enough, we all have what it takes to be great. Welcome to the Edge of Greatness. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose. It is Tuesday, April 11th, and today I wanted to see how often do you talk to people on the phone anymore? How do you build connection? Is it always through text? Is it always through email? Is it always through some type of DM or response? Or do you actually spend time on the phone? Do you actually spend time creating conversations, creating connections? I had a really nice conversation the other day with somebody who I'd never met before. I'd never talked to. I didn't know anything about them outside of what I've seen in their Twitter threads and everything in between. But after yesterday, I have a better connection with this person. I feel like I know this person much more. And it's somebody now who I would like to have more conversations with. It's somebody who I'd like to get to know better, build a relationship with. But had I not had that conversation, that initial phone call, that voice to voice, or if you want to FaceTime or do a Zoom face-to-face interaction, I don't know if that's ever would have been the case. I like their content. I like what they do. I appreciate what they're going through. But there's a difference about what you get from a conversation when it's in person or when it's voice to voice, when you can hear the other person on the end of the line, than when you're texting or DMing or communicating via any type of screen or text. We have to spend more time creating these connections. One of my favorite pillars, but it's hard to really get to the bottom of, is the people aspect. Because we need good people in our life. We're built to create tribes. We're built to create communities. But we need tight-knit, specific kinds of communities. We can't just be part of a massive community where there is no voice and you don't get heard and nobody knows who you are. You need people who you can trust in different settings and people who you feel comfortable with calling and connecting with. I have several people now that I've started to build relationships with that I know I can call, that I know I can send a voice message to, that they will respond with a voice message in return. And that relationship, because of that type of communication, is better. It's stronger. It's deeper. There are people that I've had on the podcast that I feel like I could email anytime, and they'll probably respond. And that's a good business relationship to have, for sure. But I don't feel the same connection to that person as to the people that I have on my Marco Polo, to the conversation that I had the other day. Start to build relationships with people via actual conversation. Voice to voice, face to face. It doesn't always have to be on FaceTime or Zoom or any of that, but you need to start to create communication with people. That's how you build the relationship. That's how you know if that's a person that you want to invite into your tribe. If you're always just on the phone texting, or you're sending emails, and you're never actually having meaningful conversation, then you're going to find yourself with a bunch of people that you don't really know. It's easy to sound a certain way in a text, in an email, on Twitter, on social media, wherever the platform may be. When you start to talk to somebody regularly, you get to realize what they truly sound like on a regular basis. Even like a quick one-time call, if it's long enough, you're going to start to get a feel for if this person is really this way. And that's one of the things that you need to start to uncover. Because when it comes to inviting people into your tribe, when it comes to inviting people on your journey and creating a group that's going to be your team, you got to make sure you're making the right choice. You got to make sure that you know who's coming with you. The last thing you need is somebody in your camp that's not on your team, that's not on the same page, that doesn't want what you want. There has to be that balance of support between the group. And so I definitely recommend reaching out to people. If you don't know who to start with, shoot me an email. I'll give you a call. Let's do a 15-minute get to know each other call. Practice it. See what it feels like to actually jump on a call. Because in today's day and age, I think a lot of people think it feels weird. I mean, think about it. Outside of your family and maybe your best friend, when's the last time you had a phone call with somebody? I mean, I don't think my wife calls people very often outside of that group of people that she's communicating with on a regular basis. I don't think a lot of my friends call people that they don't already know. If you don't know people, right, how are you going to build that relationship without connecting, without reaching out, without trying to find that way in? So I believe that we need to start to do more of this, right? Pretend that we're on a phone call and start calling people, right? Just pick up your phone, give me a call. You know what? Here we go. 614-456-9375. Give me a call later today and let's have a little conversation. Just make sure it's not at 2:00. I'm going to be on a podcast interview. So other than that, let's get after it. But, hey, make today a great day. Start making communication with people, connect, get to know them, see who you want to invite into your tribe, and let's make something happen where you start to feel like you're building this community that wants what you want. And along the way, you're going to have stronger, better relationships because you took the time to talk face to face. As always, guys, keep reaching for the stars. Fall flat on your face, but remember, whenever we fall, always get up. Thank you for joining us today on the Edge of Greatness podcast. If you haven't yet, please take a minute now to subscribe and review our show. Join us again next week as we continue to dig deeper into the key components of greatness. The path to greatness is never linear, so remember to keep pursuing greatness no matter what. Keep stretching your abilities, reach for the stars, and fall flat on your face. But remember, no matter what happens, whenever we fall, always get up. Until next time, I'm Charles Schultz, and this was the Edge of Greatness podcast.